Hello, friends. April showers bring May flowers. As much as I am, in fact, desiring and thinking about recording these monthly forecasts on the full moon prior to allow patrons early access and edge community who inspired these exact day of access and a little before. Maybe it is just the type of witch and person I am. Maybe it is all of my years as a trained actor for being in the moment. Maybe it's because as a tarot reader, one of my gifts lies in presence rather than in prediction. Prediction rarely came into my readings before the addition of charms. It is thank you, Rains. Yeah, it's a new sensation to have prediction in a more specific way, other than yeah, it's different having prediction in a specific way, because I am very used to my readings for individuals and groups looking at the possible future should y'all choose to stay on the path you are on. And everybody has free will and the ability to change their path. And it is not that the charms change that. I don't think. But yeah, it's a different energy. It is a different energy. And especially as someone who has been with and studying the cards since 1997, it's nice stepping back into page energy and being like, how's this play? So on this last day of April, with the April showers bringing May flowers, quite literally, for us, let's see how the cards want to guide us in and through May, for the beginning of the month, for the middle of the month, for the end of the month. For the beginning of the month, the Three of Pentacles. So let the beginning of the month be the time when we find our creative cohort, when we think about rebuilding the cathedral and how to do that with great artistry. For those of y'all who are more familiar with Pamela Coleman Smith's Rider-Waite-Smith, this is the card that has the artist on the scaffold while two others look at a blueprint, and they're trying to rebuild the church. But how Lisa Sturl has evolved in the imagery in her Modern Witch Tarot. Every artist in this class is looking on the same form. And every single artist in this class is going to have a different interpretation of this model. is going to receive something just a little different from the teacher's prompts and hopefully support, maybe criticism. But if it is criticism, may it be done with best intentions for beauty, equity and ethics, sustainability, and in a timely fashion, so that you're not referencing something that happened a really long time ago and the person is like, threes are also the first fully stable shape and used in lots of bridges and steel making because of how strong a shape it is. And so as you grow into what it is that you are planting in your literal and metaphorical world, your literal and metaphorical gardens, think about who makes your collective strong. What perspective, what life experience has yet to join the table? In the middle of the month, the Six of Wands. So some see this card as victory. I see this card as a travel of coming and going. We do not know whether or not this rider is riding into or out of their situation. We make assumptions because of the six. We make assumptions because of the trajectory of time. But it is also true that we are also always coming and going. We are coming and going from our homes, going to work, going to caregive, going to the grocery store, going for a walk, going to dance in the rain. And one of the things that I love about the Six of Wands is that our rider is carrying their laurels, their accolades with them. Wherever we go, this is something that those of you who have been here for a while have heard me say before. Everywhere we go, we bring all of ourselves, whether or not we choose to share all of ourselves with everyone we meet, whether that is work history, prison history, activism, religion, ethnicity, family stories, education, parental status, whatever it is. Some things we share, some things we keep to ourselves. But we always have all of it with us. And that's what that laurel represents for me, taking all of your achievements and failures and life experience that is uniquely yours with you. And as we travel in the middle of the month, whether that is literal travel or metaphorical travel, whether it is big travel or just your day-to-day commutes, we have an opportunity to share our victories and mishaps in constructive, empathetic, sympathetic ways. And we have an ability to learn from wherever it is that we are going, again, in respectful, ethical ways, so that when we come to a place, we can come with openness and curiosity and a desire to learn, with the power of our community at our back, with the power of the animals and the land underneath us and supporting us. And when we come back, we bring those new lessons, experiences from our travels back to wherever we are returning to or from. And in many communities, there is a saying, what's said here stays here, and what's learned here leaves, as an invitation to create a safe space for people in new groups to feel comfortable becoming more vulnerable. An agreement that we make as a collective to hold their stories, however joyful or tear-filled, and everywhere in between and otherwise that they may be. And similarly, in the middle of the month, we may also have time for us to think about the stories that we are sharing as we go about on this journey of life, and think, am I sharing someone else's story? Or am I sharing my learned, lived experience? Am I using I statements Because even those of us who have been practicing nonviolent communication styles for years, like, still need that reminder from time to time. And that's okay. As this Three of Pentacles from the beginning of the month reminds us, it's a practice. It's a sketch, drawing, starting with the blueprints so that we can then fill in the rest of the picture. And the clearer that we are with those blueprints, and the more we share those blueprints with others on our travels, the clearer we share our vision for the world, whether your vision is similar to mine in terms of creating a best world, one that is beautiful, equitable, and ethical, sustainable in a timely fashion, or whether for you it is something else, like thorn coils, magic is real and justice is worth fighting for. What's your next? And at the end of the month, the Page of Pentacles, we are an earth and fire. We are an earth and fire month, friends. Grounding the experience and the practice from our travels into what it is that we are growing, into the seeds that have progressed from that Ace of Pentacles, that if it didn't come up in a group situation, definitely came up in personal readings that I did this last month, with the Ace of Pentacles being very prevalent. Those seeds are growing and taking root into the sapling. And the pages are curious. And as these are pentacles, it is an invitation at the end of this month to really get curious about the earth, to get curious about place. And I love that this Page of Pentacles is almost in an ecotone, almost in the transition space between the rural and the urban. It's almost as if this seeker, who may or may not be the same person in this Six of Wands, although in many ways it is the same person because it's you, is taking the travel and putting that into roots, leaving, maybe there is a leaving the country for the city, or leaving the city for the country, the whole country mouse, city mouse story. reminding us that there are so many things to be learned from the forest and the land, and there are so many things to be learned from the cities and the peoples, and each of them have their own energy. And it does very much feel like there is a coming out of the forest or coming through the grasslands. And yet here also at the beginning of this month is the Three of Pentacles that is most definitely inside. But if there is this, if there is for you a shift from country or rural into urban, or there, like, what's coming through is this reminder that even in the small towns, even in the non-urban centers, there's still culture, there's still art, there's still teaching, there's still beauty, there's still beauty and love and art and form and practice to observe and to be a part of. And maybe there's a little bit of my New Jersey, grew up in New York City with a whole bunch of assumptions I didn't even realize I had, and a whole bunch of judgments that I didn't even realize I had until my mid-20s about what art was, what culture was, what good art was, what good culture was, that I had all of these judgments and assumptions about small towns and non-urban centers that were wrong. And so maybe with this Page of Pentacles, we can be curious students of the other place, the city mouse of the country mouse, the country mouse of the city mouse. And I really hope that as that story is, coming through, that it's not a problematic one, because I really remember only that bit of it. What I remember of that story is that the city mouse went to the country with a whole lot of assumptions about the ignorance of the country mouse, and realized that the country mouse was very smart and very intelligent, but just in completely different ways. Because the country mouse knew the way of the land, knew the way of the farm, knew the way of working in that very physical pentacles kind of way. And the country mouse had, I actually don't remember if the country mouse had expectations and assumptions about the city mouse, and them not being able to do work or get dirty. And obviously I have to reread the story. So the beginning, the middle, and the end of our May. Have a beautiful rest of your day, friends. And I will see you in my next video.